What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Who are you people?
You people.
So we're live again, guys. Hello.
We're live again. Jake, prior to us starting back again, you was talking about how, the things you were doing were giving you more energy. Can you kind of go over what we was just talking about?
Oh, yeah. So like, I quit drinking soda. That's one. That's the first one. And then I also stopped going to fast food joints. Like I think I've been to McDonald's once in the past 3 weeks. When I used to go to Wendy's like on the daily, and I started eating a little bit better. I started like not eating like if I buy snacks.
That was loud, right?
That was loud. If I buy snacks, they're like healthy things. You know what I mean? Like rice cakes and shit like that. Like I'm not buying like fat kid cakes anymore. None of that stuff. And like, like I've already had like a couple of dudes hit on me, which was nice. That felt nice. Not gonna lie. Like flirt, like not crazy flirt, but like be like, oh, hello, how are you? And I'm just like, really? This
Hamill
really?
got to be the pretty girl.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about yourself?
I feel good. My energy levels are very out of whack though, because I'm not used to this yet. So like, there's days when I feel like I can run through a brick wall.
Run through it. You got to if you're being given energy, you have to use it or it'll be taken back from you.
Yeah, but then there's other days when like I'll like all of a sudden like I ate like a piece of bread and then all of a sudden I slept for 12 hours. Like it was, you know what I'm saying? Like if I put any carbs in me, it's rough. But like it's all right. I mean, but I'm eating like fruit and vegetables a hell of a lot more than I used to. My biggest fucking motivator was like the fact that it was just I always had a belly. No matter how tiny I am, or I shouldn't say tiny, but how like weight wise I am downward, I still have it. And I'm like, why do I? And it's because I put garbage into me.
What's
Like,
your
Oh, I thought you were one of them starving Ethiopian kids.
yeah, right.
what's your perfect body in your mind? What do you want?
I don't want a belly. I don't want that.
Don't give me what do you want, Jake. Don't give me I don't just want. Don't be modest. What do you want?
Oh, I want to be able to do athletically stuff, athlete shit again at some
Okay.
point, like play a softball game, shit like that, or play basketball, play like a pickup game.
How do you want your body to look?
I mean, in shape.
It's in the shape right now.
Well, yeah.
Round is a shape.
It is a shape. It is a shape.
What do you want? Do you want abs?
That's
That's your life. That's how you feel about your life. Do you want abs?
I just want to like.
Do you want abs?
Nah.
Why not?
I just not a good look.
What do you want?
Did you say not a good look?
Abs are not good. Hey,
Isn't that
this-
considered the look? Like abs and cum gutters?
Hey,
I've never heard the V called that, but it's
Yeah.
perfect.
His dick root is that? I've heard it called that before. His dick root.
Hamill's like, I don't want to look so good that women want to fuck me or anything
Nah.
crazy. I just want to play a pickup game.
you want a nice chest?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Give me somebody's body you can compare yourself to.
Oh my god.
Can you think of anybody?
I don't know.
Any athlete?
Fat Jonah Hill. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's not an athlete.
I know.
Or anybody that's like I looked at that. You gotta have a mental image of what you want your body to look like, so your body can respond to it.
Yeah.
If you're just like I don't know, that's what your body's gonna look like. I don't fucking know. That's what you look like right now. I don't know. What shape is Jake in? I don't know. Look at him.
He's
Don't be modest about these things and don't feel weird. Go look at somebody's body like I want to look like that.
Yeah.
You already have an idea of what you want to do with your body. Now go get a mental picture of what you want your body to turn into. Because you got to give your body something to attach yourself to. Because if you just go out there with I don't know in my mind, that's what your body's going to look like when you get done working out.
And you can do anything. Have you seen what Camille Nanjiani looks like right now?
No.
Dude, pull up a picture of Camille
no shit.
Nanjiani. So he got cast in a Marvel movie,
Yeah.
and he is fucking yoked. He's like if he was crossbred with The Rock.
This fucking guy?
Yeah, that dude.
Dude,
Whoa, what
Those
the
aren't Photoshop. That's Camille Nanjiani.
Wow. See, that's all
So
right.
you can be anything, Hamill. Don't give up.
Jake.
That's not bad. I like that.
Okay,
He's
that's
got
what I'm
cum
saying.
gutters
Yeah.
and abs. That's
Yeah.
what you're shooting for.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
good.
Exactly, dude. Don't be. I'm telling you, don't feel weird about this shit. This is how you get your life together.
Yeah.
You form a mental picture of what you want, and then you start working towards that. Because now your mind is going to start putting thoughts in your head on how to obtain that, and all you got to do is listen to it, and you'll get that.
Yeah. Really though. Wow.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Wow.
Yes.
Good for him. That's good for him.
There's the before and after.
Yeah, like he's always.
You gotta look like you.
Yeah. yeah. No,
But-
pretty much.
But it's just like I say, dude. You gotta. It's all about your mind. That's why I tell you about be very aware of what you are ingesting mentally, like what you're looking at every day. Look at the things you want. Don't look at the things that make you mad because that's where your body's gonna respond. Look at the things that make you happy. Look at beautiful things. Try to create beautiful things, and then your body will respond. Your body will be beautiful. Your attitude will be beautiful.
Spend more time promoting the things you love instead of bashing the things you hate.
Bammo. Yeah.
And watch the thoughts when you're talking to yourself, when you're not around. Those are the most important thoughts, okay? The ones that you say to yourself, when those are negative, that's who you are. So you got to really correct those things. Like I say, if it pops in your head, ask yourself, why am I thinking like this? Why in my own brain can I not be?
Oh, I've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, that's.
It's become like a thing now. Like, it's weird. It's weird that
But that's
It doesn't slow down. It happens faster.
yeah.
Yeah, the more you do, the better you'll get at it, and the more you'll find. But the more you do, the more energy you'll get, because you think that energy is coming from you eating. It's actually coming from you getting rid of those polarities in your mind, those things that pull you in every different direction, you being unsure about everything you fucking do. Now you'll get to a point where it's like, I'm just going to do this, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Everything is just a challenge to just make you better. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, also like the one thing that because the fact that I go from 0 to 100 real quick. I just do. That's
You got no control.
I know, yeah, that's the thing. And like the one thing I really like doing is talking about ideas and shit like that. You know, like fucking having a discussion with people. The problem is that I go from 0 to 100 so fucking fast, and I'm in the red for so long that I exhaust myself and I give up, and it's not fun anymore. You know, and it's fucking stupid. It's like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to not mat it to the floor every time. You know?
Because you don't feel like you don't feel like these people are receptive, so you feel like you got to amplify yourself and get it all out before this person lose interest or don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say.
Yeah. So like, I'm trying to find a more, like, you know, like.
I believe the kids call it all gas, no brakes.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to add some breaks, or like some.
Just-
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Just
not,
be calm, talk with the rhythm, and think about every word that comes out your mouth.
yeah.
Being able to communicate is very effective. That's the only way you're going to get what you want. Being able to communicate effectively is very important. You know, you can't be the type of person that goes from 0 to 100 because, like you say, you're burning the candle on the other end.
No, I know. Like, that's what I'm saying. I've been doing that, and I'm slowly starting to not do that. But yet, just I find myself old habits die hard, yada yada yada, and I'll catch myself doing that, and then it's like pull up, and then I'll catch myself more than I normally do, which is good because you're trying to like be in tune, but like sometimes it does come out and it's like fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's fine.
yeah.
Just if it comes out, let it come out and just deal with the consequences of it coming out. But like I say, it'll get easier and easier and easier to where you won't even have to do it anymore. That's the thing. A lot of times it gets to the point to where you're doing it all the time and you just get tired like fuck, when it's gonna stop? It will stop. When you learned your lesson and it's just ingrained in who you are, you're making it a part of your programming. You're putting it into your subconscious, so now you don't have to worry about it anymore. Your subconscious kicks it out before it comes into your conscious view, so you don't have to worry about it. So don't think you have to do it forever. You just have to do it consistently enough to the point to where it's just a part of who you are now. And that's how you change. You just do what you know you want to do consistently, and then it just becomes a part of who you are. That's what I'm saying. Always have a perfected version of yourself in your head that you're working towards, and do the things that person would do in every situation. Whenever you're in a situation you finna get mad, think of what would perfected Jake do in this situation, and then do that thing. No matter what that incurs, if that means somebody gets mad, if that means you got to give something up, do what the perfected version of you would do all the time, then eventually you will become that person. And then the world will change to accept who you are.
Yeah.
What's the stupidest thing you've ever seen someone do to themselves?
Man, I mean, I don't even want to say stupid. The most interesting thing,
Okay.
I don't even.
What's
I,
what's
dude,
the thing
I don't know.
Where,
I do.
can you
I'm
think of a moment where you watched a
Oh.
human do a thing, whatever that thing may be? It
Okay.
doesn't need to be just one moment where you sat there and had to take a moment to contemplate why that human did what it just did.
I told y'all the story about I was at the party and it was the girl in the cage. The girl was acting like the dog, right? I told y'all the
Oh
story.
yeah, if you play with the bitch, put her back in the cage.
That right there, like this is why because it's hard for me to answer that question because I talk to people on very deep levels, so I know the things people do. So that's a very deep question, but I think that right there because I didn't have any basis for that.
So wait. So to be clear, the stupidest thing you've seen a person do is act like a dog and get in and out of a cage, or the way that everybody else treated this person that had to be brought in and out of a cage.
No, I think it was because it was the dedication that was like. It's one thing to do it, to be there, but like afterwards when she ran around the house like a dog on all fours, I'm like, all right, this is.
Same question, Bear.
I mean, I grew up poor in the hood, man. I've seen crazy people do crazy shit my whole life.
But is there one that like stands out in your mind that you were just like, and to this day we have no idea why he even did that? Like it wasn't.
Man,
He wasn't
I watched
prompted.
a homegirl, like someone was throwing marshmallows at her, like we were gonna make s'mores later, and they're just throwing individual marshmallows at her, and she got so mad that she ran through a plate glass sliding door, like to go out to the backyard. Like I'm assuming she thought it was open, but just like didn't even slow down, just right through that motherfucker. Because she was being chased with marshmallows. So I'm going to say that's the dumbest fucking shit I've seen.
That's pretty good, unless they weren't like melting them in the fire first and throwing
No,
like molten.
bag, hand, back of head.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm saying some crazy hood shit.
Hamill.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I seen crackheads steal a lawnmower and then carry it up to a second floor balcony but not use the stairs.
I seen this girl. I seen these girls jump this dude, and then I seen a girl get laid out, and she laid vertically in the air. It was the weirdest. I'd never seen. Like it looked like she was levitating. These girls. I was trying to get. I think I was at JJ Fish in Chicago, and I'm in my car, and it's a dude in the parking lot. These girls pull up. It's 4 girls. They jump out the car, start beating this dude ass. Right. I don't know any more of the story other than what I'm telling you. They jump out the car, start beating dude ass, right? So they whoop dude ass. They try to jump back in the car. The girl drops something. So she turns around and tries to get it, right? The dude is back up on his feet by then, right? And she's down on the ground picking it up. So by the time she come up, he right there with an uppercut waiting for her and catch her. Bah! And her body lifts up and goes flat in the air and just stands there for about 2 seconds, just boom. It looked so weird, man. And then she got right up and jumped in the car. Didn't knock out or nothing. Got right in the car. I'm like, these are some bad bitches.
He literally
Dude, lifted her.
slow-mo action scene from any action movie, uppercutted her.
If you could have set her head on a T, it couldn't have been a more perfect position to just catch her right here. And I'm like, it was so weird, man. And I was like, damn. And she just hopped right up. I'm like, she's had this happen to her before, man.
I was on acid once and saw 2 Black Panthers beat up like 4 Guardian Angels. Those beret guys.
Yeah, the red beret.
Yeah. It was at a 7-Eleven that doesn't exist anymore. It was like a couple blocks down from where Wax Tracks used to be.
On 13th?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, no shit.
But it's not a 7-Eleven anymore. I don't know what it is now. But it's next to like a giant Johnny Cash meal or something.
I know exactly what
Oh,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Right in
So
Cap
when
Hill.
that was a 7-Eleven, we're on acid and we're drinking Slurpees sitting in the parking lot. There's like 3 or 4 of us. And these Guardian Angels come up and start talking shit to this guy. And then these Black Panthers come out of the 7-Eleven. I was like, I didn't even know these things existed before that night. It's like, what the fuck is going on here, man? And fucking the Guardian Angel tried to do something, Buck, and this Black Panther just knocked out like 3 of them at once. And then like the fourth one, they kind of like ping ponged him back and forth, like he'd spin around and be like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then the one dude just finally popped him in the jaw, just bink, and just crumbled like a Jenga tower.
Yeah, you still got guardian angels out there.
They're on the ground, knocked the fuck out.
But I haven't seen a Black Panther in like real life, maybe ever.
You got the new Black Panther because I mean you know Black Panther's got outlawed shit.
Did they?
The
They
original-
became a terrorist organization or
Yeah,
something
man,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Juggalos.
The originals, but I
Yeah.
mean you got the new Black Panther party, but like the original Black Panther, yeah, they got terrorist organization.
They bombed Philly because of them.
They bombed Philly.
No, yeah, the police were trying to get to him, so they decided to literally bomb a part of Philly. This is like in the 70s. Swear to God, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, check out Philadelphia bombs own city. Like type. I swear to God.
And as
yeah.
a white man, I didn't know this was a thing that happened. Allow me to Google this real quick.
Can't expect the white man to know everything.
I've just
Yeah, they were like going after some Black Panthers, and they decided fuck it with this
May
bomb.
13th, 1985.
Was it 85?
Long-standing tensions between MOVE, M-O-V-E, and a liberation group.
It's in Philly, right?
Yeah, West Philadelphia, row home,
Born
known to
and
be-
raised.
And raised.
row home known to be occupied by men, women, and children in it, went up in unextinguished flames. 11 people killed, including 5 children. And the founder of the organization, 61 homes were destroyed, and more than 250 citizens were left homeless. Huh.
Yeah.
It doesn't say who did it, though.
It was the police. Like the police were involved in it. I know that. It
Yeah.
was, yeah. And I want to say it was. I don't know, but it did happen. But
Yeah, it dropped a satchel bomb
yeah.
filled with Tovex and C4 from what, a helicopter?
Probably.
Jesus Christ.
See.
Can we change this screen? I'm tired of looking at Kamal.
Yeah, sorry. My bad.
No, I'm trying to think what's doing something stupid.
Did you say you're trying to think, but it's like doing stupid?
No, I'm trying to think of someone doing something stupid.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, we see that kind of stuff
I mean, I've seen like
at work a lot.
yeah, that's why I'm broken inside. Nothing, dude. I saw a woman with her tits out directing traffic at Lincoln and fucking Broadway, and nobody cared. Nobody blinked an eye, and everyone went exactly where they told her where she told them to go. Like if she's doing this, they're going.
That broke you?
No, I'm just saying like that's the kind of
Oh,
shit I see like on the regular.
On the regular.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
just-
to, I got to
if you
see
If you see it
security
on the
footage.
regular, then that's normal to you. Then
I
That's
got
what
to
I'm saying,
see
yeah.
on the security footage about an hour after I left there, and the body cam footage from the people on duty in that part of the building.
Yeah.
This woman come crashing in, and them trying to prevent her from coming in because she's all fucked up, and I think was wielding a knife. And then, as they're trying to prevent that person from coming in, this dude with a easily 5.5 foot long 2x4 with nails in it comes up and starts beating the shit out of this woman. And then, like, watching like people have to wrestle it out. It's like, what gets you to that point?
And this is in your fucking liquor store?
Yes, I'm trying to not say the building, but
Yeah.
yes, it was inside the building.
Were they intoxicated or were they sober?
Who the fuck knows?
I mean, it's happening in your
They
building.
could be
you
on
mean-
plenty of different things. You know,
They
intoxicated
could
on
be on
what?
plenty of fish.
Yeah. They're trying to get laid like everyone
But
else.
I mean, I see a lot of people make just silly decisions, like every day, where you're just like, huh, that's not the
I got-
decision I would have made.
I got one. Well, when I used to live in New Hampshire, there's this place we used to do laundry at, like this like tiny laundromat, and we were there one time. I'm out front like 9 in the morning on a fucking Saturday. I go outside to smoke a cigarette. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see a Jeep and a van, just all of a sudden head-on collision, just right in front of me. Because there was like garages and houses and shit, like so you didn't see it coming from a ways. It was just all of a sudden you look up and boom. And the guy gets out. The dog fucking runs out of the van. So they're chasing the dog around because the dog's all freaked out. Everyone thinks the fucking the whatchamacallit, the minivans on fire because the airbags when they kick off, it's a lot of dust that looks kind of like smoke, so people think fire and all that stuff. The guy in the Jeep, it's his girlfriend's car, and he wobbles up to me and goes, "Hey man, can I get a cigarette from you, man?" I was like, "Yeah, here you go." And he lights the cigarette. Goes, "Oh man, my girlfriend's gonna be pissed." I'm like, "Dude, this looks like it's gonna be a bad day for you. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what to do you." That just, and he was trying to make a left, man. He's trying to make a left right in front of her and fucking pow. But
I just there are a certain subset of people in the world that you just accept poor decision making, right?
They aren't aware of themselves, man. You got, like I said, you got people that are just unaware of themselves, and they are just reactionary to whatever happens in their environment. And those are your homeless people. Those are your people on the street hitting people with 2x4s and doing all sorts of crazy shit. They're just reactionary to everything, and whatever situation they've been placed in, how they reacted ultimately puts them in these weird situations.
Yeah, because I've been in some crazy shit, but I never chased a woman with a 2x4 full of nails.
Yeah. Because you got to understand that's a certain level of just lack of intellect. Because, come on now.
yeah, I have a theory on that.
What?
Well, I should say it's not really even a theory, but
Share your thought with me.
I think that the people that are trying to help them right now aren't really helping them. Like,
Yeah.
not on purpose, but like they think they're helping, but they're not. Like my whole opinion about the situation is you should not make like rock bottom comfortable. Like when you hit that point, you got to be like, fuck, whatever I got to do, fuck out of here, help me. You know what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of people just give up on the whole helping thing. But like, I don't know. There's got to be help out there, man. I mean, unless you just want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's hard to help someone who just wants to live that life.
But you're saying two things there, both of which are right.
Yeah.
In my opinion, is like if you make rock bottom, like legit rock bottom, if it's livable, what's your motivation to come out of it?
Yeah.
And so when it comes to people that want to help, you can't help somebody that doesn't want help.
Yeah. If they want to live in a tent in the fucking middle of the fucking sidewalk, nothing you can fucking do to change their mind. If that's what they
but
want
like,
to do.
so when they try and do something, I'm not saying I'm for this. I'm just saying this happens.
Yeah.
When they try and do something to quote unquote make them more uncomfortable, like tear down their tent city with a bulldozer.
Yep, seen it happen several times in the last year.
Then they're like, "Oh, you guys are so unfair. You're so unfair. It's all blah blah blah." And like I said, there's too many homeless people.
I don't think
it's
that's
more
what
of
he
a mental
mean.
illness.
Like, if you got a tent city set up and you made that yourself, that's fine. But I don't think it's like giving them amenities while they're homeless, like building stuff
Well,
and they're not putting. This is the thing.
some people do.
I know.
And like, so the one that is across the street from where we work, like it's been there and they tell us it's going to, but all they do is go over there, just clean up their trash and move on. So they basically now have like city, like waste services. Like that's a baseline. And granted, they're keeping it somewhat sanitary if they don't want to move them. I can understand the perspective. But there are groups out there, not necessarily the city, that's providing help for them. Where did they get all these tents? Tents ain't cheap. They were all given. Every single one of
where
those is like, oh, well, I'll donate tents.
But I mean, this the problem is that poverty is a mentality. It's an attitude, and that's what people don't want to look at and understand. Yes, we can find the one person out there that something happened and it was just a bad situation, but we always try to make that the pinnacle of everybody else, and we know that's not the case. We know a lot of these people are people that have just made a lot of the wrong mistakes, and this is the repercussion of their actions. It is what it is. We need to make better people. We make better people, then people will learn how to sustain themselves. These people don't want to sustain themselves. I see people that's out there, they're 20 years old. They're young. I see grown men that's 30-something years old with whole families, kids, stuff like that. There's something else you got to be doing. Like, you can spend your time other than this standing out here on this corner with a sign. How did you get here? What errors can we correct to get you out of the situation? But me giving you money ain't going to do nothing, because you just got to spend that money and you're going to be right back here tomorrow.
So I'll actually disagree with you on this.
Okay.
I for a long time I agreed with that. The people that are actually out there with signs, they make good money. They make really good money. Like a lot of them are not homeless. That's just they may be unemployable. You come out of prison with a fucking felony.
That's not a thing. You make a way for yourself, but you don't beg for money.
There is the people that do that are not the same people that live in these 10 cities and are given everything. They at least put effort into being given something. I'm not suggesting it's good or right or any of that, but there are corners that are fought over. When I worked up in Stapleton, there is a corner right coming off of 7, and I remember one of the guys coming in, and he's dressed like, and I'm like, oh, this will be interesting, but I'm not turning anybody away. And then him just being like, he had a fucking wad. It's like, oh, he's like, my fucking earbuds died. I need new earbuds. And he's got his fucking sign under his arm. And I'm like, And then I was talking to one of my employees, and they're like, oh, dude, these guys will make like $300 a day.
They did a investigative thing in Chicago a while ago.
On that lady, right?
It was a dude. They did it on a couple of them, but they just they watched them for a while. And there'd be dudes that was out there for all day, and then they would literally go about 5-6 blocks over, jump in the BMW, and then go to a nice sized house. And yeah, it's like, because you think about it, he was saying, like, think about this. There's who knows how many thousands of cars come through the stop a day. If everybody just gives him a nickel, he's made a ton of money in one day. Not being taxed every single day.
Tons.
That's tons of money when you nickel and diming it, but like that adds up over a long period of time.
I'm going to tell you who's super pissed, and I don't know how much time you guys spend in this area of Denver, but Colfax and 17th, there's that lady that would sit, or not York.
Don't they run parallel?
Yeah, York and 17th, sorry.
York is 17. Okay.
There was, at that intersection on the southwest corner, there was a lady that had been there for years cleaning up because I saw her getting into her Subaru that she parks around the other side. Now there's a fucking tent encampment there, and she is not. Like, they fucking forced her out. She an older lady, but she would just sit there, and I watched her in one stoplight line probably get $15.
Yeah.
Like, just like no problem.
Yeah, but there's, like I say, that's a mentality, dude, to where it's just not a good way to make your money. That just doesn't lead to prosperity. You said in there. I mean, it leads to a particular type of prosperity, but what can you build off from that? Do you want your child doing that?
It leads
Is that
to a
lineage?
living wage.
But
Okay. So if
I just wouldn't feel. I don't know. That just doesn't seem like something you go home and feel good about at the end of the day.
and I doubt many of them do.
Yeah.
I mean, those examples in Chicago, and they've been like those reports
deceptive.
throughout where it's just somebody that's grossly taking advantage. If it's somebody that's unemployable for
What
whatever
is that, dude? For all intents and purposes, he's unemployable, but he's employed.
but he has a driver's license, I would assume a relatively clean driving record. He has insurance and a vehicle.
Okay.
How-
Well, dude, this is the problem. See, we accept shit because these motherfuckers ain't innovative enough to find a way. So we let them do bullshit that drags down everybody. We got to stop accepting that type of shit, man.
So few companies will hire anybody that came out with a felony. It
So
immediately
start your
flags-
own company. Do something. Dude, you have motherfuckers out here that are billionaires that were unemployable now. Where there's a will, there's a way. These motherfuckers ain't got no will. They lazy. That is you.
Okay,
Because
I'm
like I
not-
say, it's one thing if you go out there like, hey, this is my thing. What I do, give me money. That's one thing. But you're lying. You're being deceptive to get that money. It's not like
Fair.
you're out there like, I'm unemployable. Please give me some money because I don't have the ability to come up with something to do. So give me some money. No, you're going out there, you're acting like this, and you prey on these people's emotions to get money. That's wrong thinking. And we're allowing it to happen and knowing it happens. And so somebody else is going to see it. And then you got an epidemic of people doing this because they don't want to work for what they got.
See, but that's what I'm saying is that there's a big difference. In the very low bar that is being set here, I'm just going to put that out there.
In terms of what?
You'll understand in a second. You have, in theory, two groups of disparate homeless group. One that is actually willing to get out there and humble themselves so much as to beg for money, and the rest that are not, they're just getting things given to them so that they don't die, and then making and applying zero effort other than continuing
So
to
they
exist.
don't die. They ain't going to die.
You free, dude.
You gonna
People
die?
freeze on Colfax, and you find them in
Don't
dumpsters.
fucking freeze, man.
It-
Dude, let me tell you something, dude. You have to get there, man. You just don't end up there, man. You just don't end up to where you freeze on the street. There's too many options. You got to exhaust every option. Fuck everybody over to die on the street in 2021. You got to, James.
I agree.
So that's what they got what they deserve. You got to start thinking that people get what the fuck they deserve. If you die on the freezing up on the street in 2021, you did a whole lot of the wrong shit, James. A whole lot of it. And you put yourself in that situation, and there you go. That's fine. You get reincarnated. You just lost that body. You get your new one. You fucked that one up. You fucked this life off. Maybe better luck next time.
You have a slight more callous viewpoint on this, but I can't argue with the point. Is that because of both the drivers that'll give you money if you ask for it at the side of the street, and the groups that will freely give you blankets, tents, even free shelter for the night, it takes a lot of your own mistakes to get to that point. Absolutely. But the person that gets there, much like the people that just get tents and blankets given to them, they're not applying anything to their future of getting out of that situation.
Because they don't believe they have one. James, do you
but
understand?
the people that stand at the side of the road with a sign and like actually, you know, you can see them get better. Actually, you can see that they're like,
but they're being deceptive, James. That's just not good. But let me tell you something, because I just said this myself last year. I'm like, that's free labor out there, homeless people. Why ain't nobody doing anything with that labor? Why hasn't there been one homeless person with the mind to say, oh, these motherfuckers ain't doing shit. I'm finna do something with these motherfuckers because they ain't doing shit with themselves. That's fine. Amazon finna do something with them. They building homeless shelters. Guess what's gonna happen to them homeless people that go to the Amazon homeless shelter? You're gonna be working for Amazon. So there you go.
they're, you know,
There you go.
you know, God damn you.
There you go. I'm saying
Soylent
this.
Green is people, James.
All of a sudden, Amazon's got their own private label, fucking like meatballs. Nobody
James.
asks questions. That's a disturbing, but albeit realistic thought.
This is my thing. I'm finna tell everybody right now. If you don't want to be under tyranny of some real tyranny that's finna come, you better start your own business. Because this security you have with these jobs, that shit finna go. They are finna demand they gonna demand your soul from you to get that little bit of money and a little security you hold on to. Okay? Because like I tell people, your job is the government. The government has its tentacles and everything. Because for your job to even exist, it has to adhere to all the government standards and certifications, this, that, and the other.
And pay them for the pleasure of having them put these
Exactly.
regulations on you.
Exactly. So I'm getting ready to make my exit out of my job because I know it's coming. I see it coming because people are getting what they want, and they don't realize you're going to have to pay for that. You want that security? That's fine. They'll give it to you, but they're going to take something on the other end.
Would you? I mean, honestly, and I know, like, probably philosophically where you stand on this, but you have a federal job, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So federal jobs can be both lucrative and also great pensions.
Mm-hmm.
You would sacrifice all that and risk it.
In a heartbeat, yes.
Would you try to do two such things at the same time and make a peaceful break from one and transfer into the other? Or would you just be like, fuck it?
Well, I am. That's what I'm doing now. Like I say, I'm making my transition out of there now. But, I mean, at any given time, I'll drop it.
So, and this is an interesting point. I've worked in retail in some way, shape, or form for a long time. I've seen people that this is where they're going to be.
Yeah.
And then you see the people that are like, I'm here, and then I get an opportunity, and they could have been doing it for 10 years, but they're like, boom, and they just say, no, I'm leaving this security because this is great opportunity, great, potential freedom. I love it whenever I see anybody do that. Yeah. I love it. They're like, I'm sorry, man, I got to quit. No, man, you got a good gig. Go for it.
Yeah, no.
Fucking go kill it.
Yeah.
And I always tell them when I've been their top boss, I've always been like, doesn't work out, need anything else, got someone to recommend, I'm always here to take care of you. Like, there's nothing that makes me happier than somebody that just like unshackles themselves from that.
And that's what it is. People don't realize that you pay for that freedom. A lot of times when you start a business, is you just working extra hard, but you don't have that tyranny of somebody telling you have to work hard. You're working hard for yourself. Ain't no time you're working hard for somebody else. They can tell you what to do, when to do it. You got to ask to take vacation. You got all the vacation time in the world, but you got to ask to take it. Got to be approved. You're a child. That security, you're literally they're holding your hand. because you want that security. That's fine. They're paying you. That's this, that, and the other. But you can't do what you want to do when you want to do it. You have to ask them.
I think the refreshing part and the reason that I stayed in a job that I thought was going to be like a 2-month gap and just to like keep an income and then I was going to bounce. Part of the reason that I stayed there is that I can take a month off at a time, with or without. They're like, we're not paying you. Cool, we'll see you in a month. Like, whereas every other retail gig I worked through my like late teens and 20s was just like, you don't have PTO, you can't take time off. It's like, what?
And it's like, I'm not knocking it. Like I say, some people need that stability, but like, just understand this is like you have to listen to them. Like you don't have that say so. Like I know there's some people right now to where they're being forced to take the coronavirus through their job.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually if that's something you have to do.
No, I mean they try to, but I mean there's exemptions
Oh.
that you can take, and now the majority of them, like everybody, probably 99% of hospitals taking it anyway. So
Right, I was just curious if it was
Yeah.
going to be compulsory.
no, but there are places that are, and they quit then. That's your only option.
Can they make? Go ahead.
No,
You
I
see,
I was
Jesus
just
Christ.
in my work car. We have XM radio, and we don't have the service where the things on. But the thing that's free on XM right now is like this. It's all doctors all the time talking about coronavirus. And this lady called in. It was like, listen, like my husband has this just this immune deficiency problem, like something wrong with like kind of like what I have or whatever, like an autoimmune thing. And when he got the shot, it actually made everything worse. Like now his lungs are bad, his joints are really bad all of a sudden. Like should I even get the second dose? And the doctors were like, "Well, I don't. That's a shame." Well, anyway, next caller. like they didn't even want to fucking approach it. Like
No,
so.
because nobody wants the liability because they're being, like I say, if you have a group of professionals and one group is saying one thing and the other group is saying another thing, and one group is being subdued for some reason, then you got to start to question like why can't both ideas be discussed openly? Why is one idea being pressed above the other and the other idea just being like that's not even a thing?
Because one is approved and the other is not.
Were
know
you
that.
vaccinated for coronavirus between 2021 and 2024? You may be entitled to a cash settlement.
Yeah. Wait for that. Yeah.
No, they just it's the common code. They just redid the common code. That's it.
And
I seen something. It was a commercial for mild to severe COVID. Now they're saying it's
What?
mild to severe COVID.
It was a commercial?
It was an advertisement for something. Look it up. Then they're saying like now they're talking about corona. If you get it, it can be lodged in your brain. It can be lodged in your kidneys. I'm like, it ain't going nowhere. It's here to stay. It's the common code, man. It's gonna be seasons of corona instead of flu because the people's getting done with the flu because the flu vaccine was literally it didn't work anymore. Those vaccines was
They were trying to get people to take the flu vaccine, and unless you were already susceptible, it didn't have the effect that they wanted it to have. So they needed to come up with a new, scarier disease to get you to take a brand new type of vaccine, or else you're going to kill all your loved ones.
So they just bought themselves another 150 years of studying coronavirus just to find out that's bullshit too.
They know it now. I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you look at a bottle of Lysol spray, coronavirus is on the bottle of Lysol spray. It existed before this.
In fact, some 90
There-
variants.
They're piggybacking off of the respiratory problems humans already had because we don't breathe adequately. If you look at
Don't breathe adequately, dump a ton of awful shit into the air.
and like I said, people don't realize. I keep telling people another thing we talked about circulation earlier. Breathing is your main tool of circulation. Not people think their heart beats their blood. It does. It starts, but it can't carry it all around your body. When you breathe, it pushes on your spine and it actually pushes your circulation around your body. People don't realize that. So if you're not taking full breaths, your body is circulating around your body completely and with the force that it needs to.
I may not know this, but that sounds a lot like why sleep apnea is a very bad thing. So like where you stop breathing during the night, usually heavy snorers do this, but where it goes
yeah.
like you ever seen somebody sleep where they're like
Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
Dude,
A lot of people
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
shout out Dave Germain if you're watching or if you're around. We went and did a show in Grand Junction, and when Dave snored, it was like when little Nicky snored. It was like,
So but did he before he would do that, would he like not breathe, or it was like silent for like 15, 20 seconds.
I just woke up to that growl. For a split second, I thought maybe we were being mauled by a bear, and then I remembered we were in a hotel. And I look over at Will Mearswa, and you could tell he's been horrified for moments. And I look across the room, like me and Will are sharing a bed, and I look across the room, and Hamill's passed out in his jeans.
Oh, Hamill won't wake up for shit.
No, yeah, I won't.
Hamill was in his sleeping jeans that night.
Yeah.
And Dave is on the other side of Hamill, just snoring like two pit bulls are getting raped by a T-Rex.
Yeah, man,
But he said he's since addressed it. He has one of them apnea things, I believe.
The
Yeah, you
apnea
should-
mask.
you have to sleep with no fucking machine on. I haven't studied sleep apnea. I know a couple people that have it, but I don't really know exactly what causes it. But I'm sure it's something that can be easily alleviated.
Well, a lot of time. Well, this is the one thing is I don't know that it currently can, because it has to do, as I understand it, and I don't know enough, so don't hold this to gospel.
What is it? Let me see.
But is that your what the fuck? Your septum.
Yeah.
When you're sleeping on your back, which is where most humans naturally tend to go to, it closes up. Like there's something that closes that up, and then if your jaw also descends, then you block all your airways, and your body will wake you up or make you do, two pit bulls. Yeah. So I don't, but people then will get treated for deviated septums, and they'll have all that surgery up here. And then from what I hear, that's even like maybe 30%. And they end up back in these fucking masses, just literally are blowing air through that, because it'll open if it's pushed through as opposed to sucked through.
I gotta look into that, because that may be a musculature thing, because Carrie can't hawk. She can't like hawk. She can't do that because she doesn't have those muscles. So when shit gets lodged in here, she doesn't have the muscle power to get up. Also, when you breathe in, like I can breathe in with a lot of intensity. People can't do that. Those are muscles and all those things right there. Like a lot of times.
Yeah, you got to open it wide enough to get. Yeah.
Yes,
fair.
I also found out that a lot when I was working on my body and I was cracking my back and my spine, it opened my sinuses up. I can breathe more deeply now. Before I couldn't. It felt like it was a little peephole I was breathing through. But I couldn't tell because that was normal for me. I didn't realize that motherfucker opened up, and I'm like, oh my God. And it literally was giving me headaches because I was taking in so much oxygen, but I was taking in the right amount of oxygen at that point. So now my body's more
So
oxygenated.
what did you do to your spine?
I just cracked it. It was the base of my spine one day. I was working with my back, and something cracked. Because like I say, your spine is not in alignment. So I was just working with my back. And it cracked, and then I just noticed like, oh my God. And it literally corresponds, your nostrils corresponds to each side of your spine. So it's literally like it's connected. So a lot of times it may be just some type of congestion down deeper than what it is, because they look up here and they're like, oh, we don't see anything. So they start to make these assumptions about other shit. You get surgeries and it doesn't repair it, and it may be something farther down. Your body works as a unit. So because this is what I learned about my Achilles. I've been fixing my Achilles. Your body shuts off from the source. Not just down there, it shuts off from the source because it doesn't want those signals getting there, because that's going to make it painful. So it shuts those signals off. So I had to literally repair my Achilles all the way up into my pelvis, because it literally had shut those conduits off down there, because it didn't want any signals getting down there, because it was messed up. But you don't realize that because you don't investigate
Because
your body.
pain triggers an adrenal gland and a few other necessary responses, which taxes the system overall. So you might as well turn it off.
So your body's like, okay, we're not going to send signal because it's no use, because it's messed up. So we're going to shut this down as to reserve, whatever. And then, but once it heals, you got to turn those systems back on. Your body just doesn't do it. So you do that. Physical therapy is supposed to do that, but your body may take a year to do that, because you got to do it all the way back up to the pelvis. You really got to open those conduits of energy and nutrients back up down to that thing. And that way it'll actually start to heal better, because now I can use it like I used it before. It's actually stronger now, because when it healed, it fortified itself. So now it's thicker. You got to investigate your own health. That's all I'm trying to say. You'll find out a lot of interesting things about health. Because, like I say, if we needed medicine and healthcare, human beings would have died out a long time ago. We wouldn't be here if we needed it. So there has to be something in the human that keeps it healthy. So we got to rely on that system when all other things fail. When everything they give you that's supposed to make you well makes you a little bit more sick, you got to start relying on yourself.
So let's look back. You know, we've lived for however many years.
Yeah.
I'm not even
Yeah.
going to put a number because
Yeah.
it's not worth the argument.
Yeah.
6,000.
But there was a point where if I got a cut from chasing prey or whatever, that I could die, and then because of the way the human progressed, somebody realized that putting these kinds of leaves in there made it heal better and without, me slowly dying from an ankle cut. That's my body's not always able to actively fix what's wrong
Yes,
with
it
me,
is.
but
You've
the
been
world
yes,
is.
yes, you can.
I'm a firm believer that the world is, because everything that we've ever put into a medicine is derived
From
something on Earth.
Yeah.
They've never synthesized some wacky new chemical. It's always been like, oh, we found this compound in pineapple, and we found it did this.
And you also got to understand it's made for a capitalistic system that wants you to get back to work as quickly as possible. So if we actually got hurt or got sick and we allowed the human body to heal under its own reconnaissance, then we would be better human beings. But because you got to get the fuck back to work in 2 days because you can only have 2 days off.
Because you're suggesting that a good chunk of the human population is essentially a commodity.
Yeah, you're meant to work. That's why your food. That's why you're shoved with a bunch of fucking food that you don't need because your food pyramid is capitalistic. The way you go to work is capitalistic. Everything's capitalistic. It's not made for the human. The human is made for it.
Do you remember, I think we're all old enough to probably remember when the food pyramid told us that meat was like that one tiny little thing at the top, which you don't eat a ton of, you don't need a ton of, but there's a reason it's at the top. And all the grains and everything else was this is how this.
Well,
we did that. Has that changed? Have they?
I saw something.
I believe it doesn't exist anymore. They don't promote the food pyramid.
No, well, plus there's a thing I saw on the internets where I guess there's something about how testosterone's going down across the board. It's been going down for 20 years.
Well, that's because of birth control.
Wait,
Yeah, testosterone.
but why?
That's what they're trying to figure out, and it could be the diet.
Birth control.
Well,
Because women aren't ovulating. Women ovulating signals men to produce testosterone, so we're not producing testosterone. It's also affecting the jawline of men. Men aren't developing jawlines because testosterone is in developing jawlines. You're getting these men with these weak-ass chins. That's why white men can't cut their beards off no more. Weak-ass chin.
Show me Japanese jawline.
Nah, probably. It's. But they're just trying to make the point that for there's something out there that's making this shit happen. At least now the question mainstream wise is getting at least asked. So.
It's people. Everything works in conjunction, and what women do affects men, and what men do affects women, and that they already know this. This study's already been done. It was if you are not aware of it, you're just not aware of it. But they know birth control has a significant effect on men's testosterone.
Could be because the birth control is scrambling the signal.
Right, because it's pheromone
Yeah.
based.
Yeah.
It's like when women ovulate and men sense that, then they produce testosterone, and that's what that does. But now that women aren't ovulating because
But birth control, you still ovulate. If the pill, okay, there are some
There's
that change
different-
it.
yeah, there's
the
different
pill,
ones.
you would take the pill for X number of days, and then there were 3 or 5 placebo pills that allowed you to actually menstruate. So you were still doing the process.
well, women aren't even having periods now, man. They
But
aren't
yes,
even,
because they're using some of these. I forget what the fuck they're called. And we're a
Baby
room full-
vaccinations.
Well, it's like that little thing they put up there that basically makes the egg
Dude,
just fall right out.
it's
in
they got so
science.
many. They got the idea. They got a bunch of different birth controls, and they do different stuff. But I know Carrie was on some to where she didn't have periods for I don't know how long. But then I came in the house, and since I'm so potent, that medicine didn't work. She was having it was making her have periods, so she had to get off of it because they was fucking her up. And so that's just, I'm telling you, nature's gonna find a way. You can give them any
I
type
know.
of
I
medicine you
learned
want,
that
but
from Jurassic Park.
yeah, exactly. But people don't realize like everything goes hand in hand. So this is the problem with humans. We fuck with one thing, and we don't realize when we fuck that one thing, we've offset every other thing in that ecosystem or that environment. And then we try to fix all these other things, and then we try to fix something else. We've just offset a whole bunch of other shit. So that's our whole thing is we're trying to fix nature, and all we gotta do is leave nature alone because it'll achieve homeostasis and do what the fuck we gonna do. Have orgies. Motherfuckers ain't fucking right no more.
No, God, no, they're not.
I think it would be worthwhile just because I feel like everything else that humans do, you kind of like say you're playing, I don't know, basketball with somebody, you'd be like, ooh, how do you do that move? We don't fuck commonly, so we can never be like, ooh, that's a solid fucking move right there.
Nobody wants to see me fucking.
And we instead we look at porn, which is just showing us like this weird idealist thing where like you always get a perfect view because they're fucking the way they block it to get. It's like you don't realize it's like it's not how people fuck.
And plus, it don't tell you how to get to that. Like you can get women to do that, but you got to know how to get there.
Well, you also have to have like a 13-inch dick
No, you
to do some of the fucking moves where it's like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can see this much of the cock consistently sliding it out, but I never see the head. Go fuck yourself.
It's some positions
Hey
that
man,
just ain't for
it's
the
just the
small
life.
dick.
You know what I mean? I just
Some
That's
positions.
why we call him the hammer.
Cause you got if you got enough dick, you can take your arm, put it around a girl's leg, around her arm, around her neck, and grab her by the neck and fuck at the same time. You gotta have a lot of dick to do that.
go gadget dick.
Go get your dick. You gotta be flexible too.
I feel like
That
gotta
I'm
have a
not.
lot of dick to do that. It should either be a rap song or a tongue twister. Gotta have a lot of dick to do that. Gotta have a lot of dick to do that. Gotta have a lot of, you know what I mean?
Gotta have a lot of dick to do that. Yeah, that's a good rap song.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing to have a rumor about you having a big dick amongst women?
Depends on if the rumor true. If the rumor true is a good thing. If it's rumor's not true, it's a
But
bad
if
thing.
even if it's true, like if it's a rumor, it could be like, oh, I thought it was going to be like this.
Yeah, it all depends on if it's not a specific size that they know. It all depends on what she thinks the big dick is. And like I say, you don't know. There are some dicks out here in this world that you don't want your girl had been sitting on. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, that's how they get
Carrie
ruined.
got some nigga that sent her a 13-inch dick, and I'm just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's just too much dick.
It'd be like a fucking snake swallowing a pig.
It's just like it's too much dick. And it's like, just come on, man. It's just after a while. I think after 9 to 10, that's abusive. That's enough to be abusive and enough to give a nice long stroke. Anything over there is just it's
Nine's
too
pretty
much.
good. Nine's pretty good.
Nine-
If you
nine
could just
10.
have a nice stroke.
I mean, a
Where
nice,
you're not like,
7 could get you a nice stroke, but if you want a good, because you want to punish the girl a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She would have enough dick to punish her a little bit if you need to. You know what I'm saying? You want
Where
to hit
you
a
could
kidney.
go just a little deeper
Yeah.
than she wants you to
You
go.
want to hit a kidney, you know what I'm saying? And then you hit a kidney.
Dude, it's all fun and games till you actually bottom out someone's cervix.
Yeah, dude, it sucks.
It does.
Dude, all of a sudden it's like just brick wall on the tip of your dick.
Hey,
And then they go,
Blood
oh,
sometime.
and then you have to start all over again because that's literally the hard reset of like,
Girl in midstream, she's into it, and all of a sudden I hit that wall and she goes, stop. Like breaks her character basically. He goes, just stop. I go, what? She's like, you hit the thing. Just slow down.
take time.
Yeah. I'm just like fucking
going
It was
crazy.
like right after my divorce. I'm just fucking like
Jake's just happy to be there.
yeah, I'm fucking so excited. I'm so excited.
It just can't hurt. Hamill out there fucking like a pit bull on crack.
as long as the T-Rex doesn't come in.
yeah.
Oh, that's it? We done? Oh, shit.
all
Get the
right.
fuck on out of here then.
Bye-bye.
Peace.